What's up, y'all? My name is Prince and I'm an urban acolyte. This video I'm going to talk about Birds of Prey. I'm going to give my full review in this one. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, the first couple of minutes you're good. I'm not going to discuss spoilers, but then I'm going to get into my full review and start talking spoilers. So if you want to go into that movie spoiler free, I'll let you know when to tune out and peace out and holler at me later on. So first off, Nisa and I went and saw Birds of Prey last week. We saw it Wednesday night for you guys. It was like Thursday afternoon for us. She really liked it. She liked it a whole lot more than Star Wars, I think. Star Wars, I think she was just kind of like, when is this over? But she said Harley Quinn was really smart, so she was following the plot. I followed it. I really enjoyed it. I was a fan of Suicide Squad, the first one. It was one of my favorite movies to watch during my workouts because it was kind of like a music video. This was a lot like Suicide Squad in the sense that the music really drove the story. Like, it was a whole part of the storytelling. The fight scenes were excellent. The action was actually better than Suicide Squad. We saw it in MX4D. I don't know if that's a thing back in the US, but it's like an interactive experience. It's like riding a roller coaster while you're watching a movie. I don't think I'm ever going to see another movie in MX4D. When people were getting shot in the face and stuff, there would be stuff like spraying us in the face. During the fights, the seats would start moving and rocking and rolling and everything else. So there was, I think one part, Harley might have set off like the sprinkler system or something, and like we started getting misted in the theater. So it was like, yo man, I wasn't expecting all this. I thought I was going to go see the movie in like some kind of new kind of 3D or something. So yeah, we had an interesting experience. But now I'm going to get into like actual spoilers and start talking the movie. So if you haven't seen it and you want to go in spoiler free, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're good for spoilers. All right, so the basic plot, just to summarize this movie, this ties into the Suicide Squad, and it's kind of going to get into when I start talking about things I didn't like towards the end, but this is going to be one of them, is I didn't really understand where this fits in as far as like Suicide Squad, and then there's a sequel, there's Suicide Squad 2 that Harley Quinn will also be in. Right now I'm thinking this fits in the middle, but she said something about I got arrested, and she like kind of hints about things that happened in Suicide Squad, and then she's like, and then I got arrested again, and it's like, do you mean after the mission in Suicide Squad, or did something else happen where you got arrested and that's going to be Suicide Squad 2? So like the chronological order of all these events really confused me, but for now I'm thinking this fits in the middle. All right, so Harley Quinn and the Joker, they broken up. That's really it. And so at this point, Harley Quinn is the Joker's, is his main squeeze, is his woman. She's protected, right? All the other crime people, she could do whatever she wanted, right? She could go into somebody's bar and the owner who's part of Gotham's underworld or whatever, she could, I don't know, blow fire in his face or something. She could pee on his shoes. Like, she was protected. Nobody was going to mess with her. And then when they find out that, oh, she and the Joker are split, there's no more Mr. J and his Harley Quinn, it's open season on Harley. So this dude, Black Mask, he's like, I'm getting Harley. I'm taking her out. He's after her, and at the same time, he's got this big plot. He's gonna buy everybody off in Gotham. It's kind of like the plot from, I think, The Dark Knight, where like all the everybody was getting together, and the Joker is the one who ends up taking them all down. But all the gangs, the mobsters, everybody's getting together, the underworld, and they're gonna buy off all the policemen, the politicians, everybody. And like Batman goes to Hong Kong to get that one guy, and and then he ends up Harvey Dent ends up you know, convicting everybody and send them to jail, and that's what, you know, sets the Joker up to let chaos reign. So it's kind of like that, where Black Mask is setting himself up to buy off everybody. He's worked on this thing for, it sounds like, decades, where he was in on this other crime family, this crime syndicate, taking out, well, I think the Bertinellis, who were Huntresses, her family. So he's responsible for the origin of the Huntress character, right? He kills off her family, she survives, is trained as an assassin, and now you have the Huntress, and she's out one by one taking out all of the people who killed her family and caused her to be an orphan. Zsasz is one of the people who was part of that assassination. Victor Zsasz, who happens to be a Black Mask right-hand guy. So that brings her into this plot. Now, with that Bertinelli family, there's this diamond, and on the crystal structures are like etched, I think, these coordinates that, like, it's basically the key to unlocking their bank account and all their money. It's locked away somewhere. So everybody's looking for this diamond that has been stolen by Cassandra Cain. The name Cassandra Cain, she actually at some point becomes a Batgirl, right? One of her names is Cassandra Wayne. So I guess she at some point eventually is adopted by Bruce Wayne. So she's like this orphan, this pickpocket thief. She steals the diamond, and Harley Quinn is, you know, when they capture her, it's like, well, we're gonna kill you. And then it's like, well, I can find your diamond, right? So Harley is now into the whole thing. Cassandra Cain manages to get herself arrested. Of course, she's a little kid. So we got Detective Montoya, who is a detective. So now you've pulled everyone together, minus Huntress, but Huntress is gonna come into the story at some point. So you got all these, you know, women together who I guess go on to eventually, well, Black Canary. Black Canary is a lounge singer at Black Mask's, at his club, right? So, you know, Harley Quinn breaks his driver's legs. Dinah rescues Harley because she's about to get raped because she's had way too much to drink. These guys are dragging her off in the van, and she ends up beating up the guys. Black Mask sees her, and he's like, oh, my little songbird can do more than sing. You know, so he gets her to be his driver. So now she's hanging out with Black Mask and Zsasz. She knows about the plot. She knows this girl because the girl, her foster family lived in her apartment building. So it's like now we got one big happy family, and this theft of this diamond. And Montoya knows Dinah's mother. Apparently, from how it sounded, Dinah's mother was also the Black Canary, like the superhero with the canary cry. So there's like this whole hero's journey thing with that, where there's the call to adventure with Dinah and Montoya. But Dinah's like, no, I'm not becoming a hero or a vigilante or whatever, because, you know, when push came to shove, my mom got found in a ditch, beaten to death, and the cops didn't do anything, and I'm not doing jack squat. And Montoya's like, look, if that wouldn't happen on my watch, like, yo, this is Gotham City. The cops are crooked here, right? But not all of us are like that. Long story short, everybody is connected in this, and you see what happens is they're all after this diamond, and then it's, well, this kid has the diamond, she swallowed it. And, you know, Zsasz, if you know anything about Victor Zsasz and Batman, if you don't, Zsasz is like obsessed with cutting people. He's a serial killer. He's obsessed with cutting people open. He likes knives. He likes cutting himself. I think every time he kills somebody, he cuts himself, right? He's weird. It's a Batman. It's somebody from Batman's rogue gallery. So, you know, it's already means he's twisted. I'll let you figure it out. Zsasz is gonna gut this kid and get the diamond. And so this girl who ends up one day becoming a Batgirl is what brings the story together. Harley is an anti-hero, except she's still like a villain. She's not really an anti-hero, but she wants to save the kid and get all the the other bounty hunters that Black Mask gets, and is like, yo man, I'm putting a $500,000 bounty on this girl's head, and you know, and if Harley doesn't come through, oh, we'll kill her too, right? So, you know, Harley through most of the movie is trying to save her own self, and then is, well, kid, I wasn't really going to do this. Now, you know, I'll let you figure out what happens. Like, it's Birds of Prey and the Emancipation of Harley Quinn, or whatever the little byline title is. But the Birds of Prey, it's their origin story, and it's also a Harley Quinn story. Now, I talked about the plot and the characters, so I don't need to do that again. The story is set in Gotham City. This is one of my complaints, though, is that, like, if I didn't know that this was in Gotham City, like, there wasn't a lot to, like, tell you, yo, this is in Gotham. And another complaint I had was the fact that this is in Gotham City. All this stuff is going on with Black Mask and these people from Batman's Rogue Gallery. Harley Quinn blows up Acme Chemicals. Where in the hell is Batman through all of this? Like, you could just kind of, oh, the Bat is off doing something with the Justice League. Superman is doing something in the Gotham Bat. Like, where the hell is Batman through all of this stuff going on? I mean, like, I've heard that the movie's not doing that great in the box office. Like I said, I loved it. This movie, it was so much fun. The fight scenes were awesome, with the exception of, even though Black Canary she was awesome. My bro Geekdom tweeted out, he was like, yo man, I can't believe that Black Canary was played by Michelle's best friend in Full House, Journey Smollett or Smollett. You know, it's too bad that that famous French actor Juicy Smollett didn't have the Black Canary protecting him that night when he decided to go to Subway and he got jumped by those guys in those MAGA hats. Why is it that she couldn't throw a punch? Like, she obviously has mastered Taekwondo, at least her character, but she did not throw a single punch through the entire movie. Now, at the very end, when she does the canary cry, that was awesome, because up to that point, even though there was like the scene that kind of let you know, yeah, she can do that, it was like she hadn't used it yet. Is she really the Black Canary? Because the way that, you know, like, Montoya, Rosie Perez was awesome in this, by the way, but Montoya was like, you know, you've got that same power, your mother had that power, and you've got your mother's power too. And it's like, yo, well, was her mother the Black Canary and she's not, or what's going on? She's Dinah Lance, like, what's the deal here? So that was awesome. It paid off. Like, they put her over great. But, you know, just me as a martial artist, as somebody interested in action, paying attention to action, she didn't throw a single punch in the entire movie. Or if she did, she kicked so much that I didn't notice it. So, you know, if we're going to keep seeing Journey Smollett as the Black Canary, you know, like, can whoever does the fights, can y'all, like, let her mix it up some and you know, let us see that canary cry more, if there are going to be more Birds of Prey appearing in other DC EU films. The other thing that I didn't like, Harley Quinn is destroying people throughout the movie, right? She broke into like a jail and took out like all these dudes, these prisoners. But then it's like when she fights Montoya, when they had their little short fight, like, then all of a sudden it was like all this stuff Harley did. Now all of a sudden, why can she not fight? I mean, you know, I maybe it's, you know, they were trying to make it look like Montoya is on her level too, but I'm like, Harley, like, literally, it was an awesome scene. When Harley goes into the police station, like, she took out all the cops and then breaks into the jail and takes out all the prisoners too. And then these you know, biker gang dudes come in, and she takes out the whole biker gang. But it's like, but you're fighting Rosie Perez. It's Montoya, but all I could think of is Rosie Perez from White Men Can't Jump. Woody, I want to screw. You either say make love or you say, you know, the other word, right? And I was just like, wait a minute, you mean like Harley Quinn beat up all those dudes, but she can't beat this cop? Like, what's the deal here? You know? So you know, like I said, that was something for the plot, right? It's just like you have the hero who goes through the whole movie smashing people without a scratch, and then, you know, then they get to the boss fight and all of a sudden they're evenly matched. So I understood that, and then, you know, they had to set it up that way because then when they fight all these excuse me, when Black Mask brings everybody in Act 3 and there's like the big boss fight or whatever, you know, you got to set everybody up that they can all handle this army of gangbangers and mobsters that they've got to fight. And it's like, well, like 3-4 women who were fighting like all these dudes, you know, with guns and knives and bats and sticks, which was still awesome. That was an awesome scene as well. But anyway, to conclude the movie, like I said, it's a very fun movie. I did feel like it was trying to do too much though. Is this a Harley Quinn movie? Is this a Birds of Prey origin movie? But even still, it was fun, right? I'm a comic book movie guy. I'm not a comic book guy. There's a difference. Whatever the source material is, if they've done something like this in the comic books, I haven't read it. I don't know anything about it. I'm just looking at the DCEU as its own universe, and I have no baggage that I'm bringing into this. Yo, man, it was a fun movie. I loved it. Highly recommend you guys go see it. I feel like the Harley Quinn character has evolved. As far as the DCEU goes, if the Joker movie that just won awards, or what's his name, Joaquin Phoenix won Best Actor at the Oscars, if that's a different Joker set in a different universe than in the main DC movie universe, Harley Quinn has surpassed the Joker. And I don't know if Jared Leto, is that his name, if he's gonna stick with being Morbius, or if he's gonna try to play the Joker too. I don't know what they're gonna do with him, but yo, man, they gotta step up. Joker's gotta step up if they ever bring him back into the movies, because Harley is surpassed him as far as character development goes. But anyway, those are my thoughts on the movie. Have you seen it, or are you interested in seeing it? If so, I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't seen it, I'd like to hear why not, and maybe I've convinced you to go check it out. But anyway, those are my thoughts, and yeah, that's about it. So if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and click that subscribe button and take your first steps towards becoming an urban acolyte. Embark on the journey to become the hero of your own story, become a force for change in your community. Continue to support the channel. Do that by sharing this video with your DCEU friends who have seen the movie, or maybe they haven't. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing. May the force of others be with you always.